Welcome to the day 2 of our Koopa Kast at E3 2015. I'm joined once again by the same people as yesterday, Justin Sharp
Hey everyone.
and Peter Lopez.
Hey.
And so today we finally got our Nintendo booth tour. So we got hands on to most of the Nintendo games there. It was a nice tour. We had to spend an hour playing lots of games. We started out playing Star Fox, which Peter talked about yesterday. So we don't want to hear him again.
Yeah.
But Justin and I finally got to play some Star Fox. Justin, what did you think?
I liked it a lot. It was really fun to play on the gamepad. You can kind of get more of a zoomed in view, so it's easier to shoot enemies on the gamepad. But what was kind of a bummer was I felt like I was only looking at the gamepad the whole time. So I was only focused there. And it's kind of strange on the gamepad. You kind of see the window from the R-Wing. So you kind of have this, these two little things coming down, and then, you kind of have like the whole cockpit view. So it's a little weird, but it was fun to take out enemies, and the aiming worked really well. It kind of works like Splatoon for those who played with the motion controls on. You can always recenter the gamepad, so wherever you are looking, if it gets out of sync or something, you can just press I think it was the Y button, or you push in on the left stick or something. But the game looks really nice. Played one of the bosses, or I guess there was a boss that came out at that one point. And there are different ways to beat the boss. So I destroyed one of the satellite dishes, and then the Nintendo rep said, I'll tell you a secret. You can actually go inside the boss before taking out all of those, the rest of the satellites. So I went inside there, and then you can transform into the land runner chicken leg thing, and start blowing up the core of the thing. But it looks really nice. I'm excited to see more about it. I want to see like more of the campaign. I want to see what Platinum Games is doing there. I'd like to see some cool cutscenes and something really that really makes the experience really shine. So, anyways, what did you think about the game?
The game, Star Fox looks a lot visually better than what everyone probably saw on the Direct.
Yeah.
And that's what I was happy about. It's beautiful, even though it's still kind of 64 type graphics. It's 1080p.
Yeah.
60 frames per second, so that makes anything look good.
Yeah.
But I wasn't totally sold on the controls.
Yeah.
Only because I don't want to be pigeonholed to those controls. I hope they have an option where I can just play normal, like with a different controller.
Yeah. Or even without the cockpit view altogether. Like, hey, I just want my third-person R-Wing on the screen.
That's it. But I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do that because, remember when you shot off that boss, it was a long view of third person. It would be hard to make it into the entrance way without third person view.
Yeah.
So true. I have a feeling that we may not get another play option, which
we're not. When I had demoed the video game, the Nintendo person had mentioned they're putting a heavy focus on the gamepad, which he says he doesn't think, which is another way of them saying that it's not going to happen in regards to Pro controller or GameCube controller, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and I guess it could kind of undermine the game being a gamepad-centric game. If they did provide the option, 90% of the people may go that route, and then it ruins the experience that they had planned for it, I guess.
And maybe my feelings may be Nintendo's fault in the sense we haven't had a gamepad. I'm not used to that splitting my attention, and I didn't really like it.
Yeah,
because I'm not used to it. Maybe after time I would, but this is 3 years into the Wii U, and this is really the first time I really have to do it.
Yeah,
right.
It's sad.
Yeah,
but I didn't. I feel comfortable. I guess is what
we're not used to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They've set a bad precedent, unfortunately. But yeah, what else do we play?
Tennis.
Ooh, yeah. Mario Tennis is actually, not that it wouldn't be fun, but it was a lot of fun. We played some doubles.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I can see that being a really fun party game. Maybe not for that long. Maybe it wouldn't be fun for too long. I don't know. We'll see how much depth the game has to it. It'd be cool if it has some RPG elements to it, like Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Color, but we'll see.
Yeah, I really like the way it looked. I like the 1080 visual. I liked using the Pro controller. Actually, yesterday you had mentioned motion controls. I can definitely see that being an option. However, if it's not an option, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Just because it felt very comfortable using the I don't want to call it classic controller, but the Pro controller when playing Mario Tennis. Really interested to see what other kind of characters they had, because we only got to play as, I think it was Bowser, Toad, Mario, and Peach. It was just those 4 characters, but I would like to see maybe Yoshi, Shy Guy, which I'm sure they'll be integrated into the full package when it releases. But I thought the game was pretty fun. I think I'm going to buy that video game. That seems like a game me and my wife could play. Or, a couple of people can get together and have a good time. I don't know if it's going to have online multiplayer, but it seems like it would be a missed opportunity should they not implement that in the game.
Yeah, I could see it maybe not being there, just from my experience with Wii Sports Club Tennis. Online was very poor. For anyone that's ever played Super Smash Brothers Brawl on the Wii Online, where whenever someone had a slow connection, everybody starts moving like molasses, It's the exact same experience in Wii Sports Club Tennis. So whenever Nintendo has to do some sort of a, synchronous type online multiplayer game, it unfortunately doesn't turn out so well. So I could easily see them just snubbing that. Yeah. But
which is fine if it makes a better experience offline. Then
I
guess that's.
And what more power-ups they're going to have? Because the only one we really had was the mushroom.
Yeah,
the
and you just get big.
One had a variety of power-ups. So I'm sure they're going to add more, but I was wondering exactly what those are going to be.
Yeah.
Shoot fireballs across the other person, or I don't know.
Did that make you stronger? I know I picked up the mushroom, but I don't recall if it made me swing faster or.
It was a more powerful. Like I know, like when you hit someone who wasn't big, they kind of got knocked back. And the person who got knocked back would have to time to hit perfectly to hit it back. If not, you just got smacked in the face.
Right. Yeah. So that it was pretty fun. Like even just with that one power up in there. But hopefully there's a whole plethora of them.
We also got to try Metroid. What was
Blast Ball.
Blast Ball. What did you guys think of
that? It was okay. I mean, I'm not the biggest. I guess I say I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but I like sports. We were just watching sports at the behest of me.
Baseball's not a sport.
Baseball's a sport. I like baseball, and Mario Baseball would be fantastic. It'd be fun to see that come back. But Metro Blast Ball, it
didn't seem finished to me, which I don't think it is.
No,
It was early next year, so they have time.
Yeah, and like it sounds like it's just going to be a mini game built into the new Metroid Liberation Force or whatever it's called, Federation Force, or I can't even remember now.
The new Metroid.
Yeah, the new Metroid thing. But the controls were a little weird. Peter may talk more about it, but it was hard to get around the ball. The ball also does damage to you, the blast ball. So you're trying to essentially just keep shooting at it, and get it into the other team's goal. But it was hard to really aim it because you couldn't really like strafe around it effectively. Right. So that was kind of a bummer, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of piggybacking off of what Justin had said with the controls. The controls were a bit wonky. I mean, sure, it's like a demo, and I don't know when the game's going to release, but going back to like traditional first-person shooters, like with Xbox or PlayStation, you have the left stick and you have the right stick, and the way that they work, it works very well with 3DS, especially with the new Nintendo 3DS, which we demoed it on. The left stick works fine in regards to, I think it was like left and right motion, but in order to see up and down, you had to use the C stick. But the way the game works when it comes to shooting, instead of, which I would have preferred it to be right trigger for shooting, you had to press the A button. So you had to kind of like, I guess it's, what is it called? Eagle claw, tiger claw, the
Yes,
controller.
right.
It was so weird and it was uncomfortable. And I would hope when the game's finalized, they let you switch your controllers around, switch your buttons around. You know, you can hold on to the L trigger, and I think that locks onto the rolling ball, which is fine. But I just think if they reworked or remapped the controls, it would allow you to shoot diagonal shots, which would move the ball in a different direction instead of just pushing it back if you shot straight onto it. And so
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it was fine when you're playing with other people. I mean, you know, I had a good time playing with you guys in the Nintendo rep, but I just think that, man, the controls just kind of killed it a little bit, and should have been better. I think I would have been a little bit more positive about that experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but in my opinion, because when there's two ways to really play the game, you can shoot the other people, and they would overheat or whatever, and they pop out of their mechs or whatever you want to call them, or you can actually make a move on the ball.
Right.
For me, it was too hard to knock someone down. Like, I had to shoot you guys like a million times, it seemed like, for you guys to overheat whatever and pop out.
That's what kept happening.
And so, like, that really wasn't a correct way to go. Like, it was easier just to play the ball instead of play the attack, because it just took so long. So I think they lowered the health of each person, and it's easy to pop someone out. That would be more of a strategy than just playing the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed, I'm not sure how long a game like that would hold my attention. Like, the arena was fairly small, and I don't know if you could add like other obstacles, like, I don't know, pylons or something that could pop up, or I mean, I don't know how much level variety they could even introduce to it, you know, to make it fresh or for a long period of time. But I mean, it was just a demo, so we'll see what it is in the full version. But
I think we had a more positive experience playing the new Zelda game.
Yes.
On the new Nintendo 3DS, which has that Link Between Worlds aesthetic. You know, I think it worked good. It worked fine. But yeah, let's talk about that. What do you guys think?
I like the new Zelda a lot. Triforce Heroes. It was very, very nice. The graphics are great. It looks like it's using the Link Between Worlds engine, and the 3D looks awesome. I played with the 3D on the whole time. And what was interesting was you have the different costumes, and that can change their abilities. Like, I used the Kokiri clothes, and I had a bow and arrow that would shoot out 3 arrows. And you guys just had the regular forest clothes that had just the normal abilities. But it looks like there's going to be a big emphasis on the clothes, which they mentioned in the digital event. Different hats, different tunics, different, I assume, some pants or something that'll give you different abilities. So that'll be interesting to try out. It was fun, the co-op elements where we would like totem up. And one of the things we were wondering yesterday on the Koopa Kast was, you know, how are we going to communicate it? Didn't seem like there was voice chat. But the Nintendo rep mentioned as we were playing, on the bottom of the screen, on the touch screen, there are all of these icons for selecting, like, okay, totem up, or, you know, no, or, you know, like all these like preset, you know, chat things. And we just kind of like spammed it, you know, since we were obviously right there next to each other. But hopefully that'll be sufficient for multiplayer games. And I think they did say online multiplayer for it.
Yeah.
And that's why, I guess, the reason why they would have that. But yeah, it looks really fun. The boss battle was great. A lot of puzzle solving. What did you guys think?
I really like the whole customization aspect in regards to just character appearance. You know, like if you were to pick Zelda's dress, I believe it adds more hearts to the overall party, which the party has to share the hearts, which I like, because that makes a large emphasis on teamwork. You know, I think we have to work together, which it was funny because we tried to troll each other when we could. I think I tried to throw James off the cliff a few times.
I just wanted to see. A few times.
Yeah, that's really.
I just wanted to see if I could do it, but yeah, it looks like a really fun video game. I'm glad that there's online multiplayer in there. I do like the fact that they're adding the whole touchscreen emotes to help with communication, and it looks like a fun video game. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
I guess that everything was good.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's gonna be good. We only played one level. They had several different. We played the forest one. They had like a volcano and some other ones, but maybe we'll get some hands-on time with that tomorrow. But.
Yeah, we got to play Chibi Robo.
Yes,
surprisingly good.
Yeah,
like I didn't think it was gonna be that good, but it was. Yeah, it was a fun platformer, and use this plug as like a lasso or grappling hook if you want to pull things to you, and
you can hook on and pull yourself up on the different platforms. And I played the boss battle in the game, and that was pretty fun. I mean, you're kind of just spamming the whip at him the whole time, but eventually he hardens he's like this kangaroo bunny robot thing. Eventually he hardens the bottom half of himself once you hit him there, and so you have to do the 45-degree angle lasso, hitting, or just jump and hit him regularly. But it looks like there'll be some fun boss battles in the game. The 3D was really nice. Since all the characters are all 3D polygonal, it was a nice effect. So
it seemed like it would be like just another platformer on a Nintendo 3DS, but it seems like it'll be fun. Yeah, I mean, you kind of touched on it.
Yeah. I played a level where you hooked onto the back of a boat, and so basically you were wakeboarding on the boat.
That's cool.
Take jumps and dodge things, and it's about as far as I got. So I don't know what happened at the end.
Cool.
Yeah,
I sucked at it.
So it looks like they're using his little extension cord in a lot of different ways, and I think they mentioned that you eventually get like the zip lash, and you get a bunch of different items.
Right, there's more power-ups to it.
Yeah,
and Amiibo, I think, does a little bit more. However, did he catch himself saying something with the Amiibo, like an Amiibo bundle?
Yes. He mentioned, and he was like, no, there is no bundle yet. He's like, they announced the Amiibo and they announced the game, but he didn't confirm a bundle. So even though I seem to recall seeing like a box art that maybe had a bundle, like maybe it was like Nintendo UK or something that posted that, or maybe
I think when it was initially announced during a previous Nintendo Direct, I think I seen a box too.
Okay, so I bet they'll have something like that. But, and then then Paper Mario or Mario, are they calling it? They're calling it Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Right?
Okay.
Is how they're combining it. That was really fun. I think we agreed that there's not much that changes the gameplay with I mean, it's really a Mario and Luigi game with Paper Mario elements. So you'll have Paper Mario, enemies that are like kind of all stacked pieces of paper. So when you jump on them or hit them with something, it may get rid of only like half of those paper enemies, and there's like cardboard trio attacks and all this different stuff. And then even in the overworld, you can use Paper Mario to go between, two rocks or something, to squeeze through. So, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of new gameplay elements. Now, granted, it isn't coming out to 2016, so. And we saw just a brief demo, so hopefully there is maybe a lot more that we're not seeing.
I would like to see Amiibo implemented into that game.
Yeah.
Paper Mario Amiibo.
That would be cool. That would be very cool.
I'm not actually what it would look like, but it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Very flat little piece of.
That
really
would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
There you go.
They made a wool one, so
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was a nice blend between the two universes, the Mario and Luigi and the Paper Mario series, and some of the characters were grabbed from um, both of the series, and it was nice. From what I played a boss battle, and this thing took forever to kill.
Oh yeah, was it the Piranha Plant?
Yeah,
it did take a long time. Yeah,
I was like, if I had a watch, I was like looking at the watch.
I know. Well, like as a demo, you pretty much adequately go through all of the moves, and you're like, okay,
Right.
yeah, okay, I guess I just have to keep grinding and beat him, But
Yeah, it was nice. So like, I think when we were running away from the Piranha Plant, Paper Mario's flying in the air like a paper airplane, and you have to select which one you want to pick between Mario and Luigi to jump and grab on him. That kind
dodge
of
attacks.
It was a nice little, callback to, the franchises. But as of now, I haven't really seen anything to make me want to run out and buy it just yet. But it is still early development, as it was mentioned by the representative. So hopefully we see some new things integrated into the final thing. What else did we see?
Nintendo, I think that was it.
I think that was it at Nintendo's booth.
We did go deep silver and check out Mighty Number 9.
That's right. That was the first thing we did today. Yeah. So yeah, Mighty Number 9 was very cool. This is the first time I've been able to play it. I know they've had it at PAX and some other events, but it's very very similar to Mega Man. And I know the representative was like, yeah, it's our own game though. It's our like it seems like everybody's comparing it to Mega Man. I'm sure he gets it all the time.
Well,
but
did you notice that he tried not to say the word Mega Man?
Yeah,
he said it once, but he would be like that game or that
yeah,
franchise. Like he was.
I think he was very careful.
He was careful. He finally said it once, but like once out of like the 8 times he could have said it. So I don't know if he was told, "Hey, don't say Mega Man," or he was like,
"This is our own game."
He was personally trying not to say Mega Man.
He put a large emphasis
on not saying Mega Man.
Yeah, that and just to let it be, to create an awareness that like it was them just making their own game. It's like he didn't want to be associated with Mega Man, even though the creator of Mega Man is making Mighty Number 9. So it's kind of hard to not associate.
And it's hilariously similar.
Yeah,
like hilariously similar. I mean the names of the bosses, the names of the main character, like Beck and Call and
Rock and Roll.
Yeah, Rock. I mean, it's all very very. I mean, if they were trying to avoid similarities, they failed miserably to Mega Man. But one element that was really cool and unique was the cell element, where essentially you're not trying to destroy these robots. I mean, you're trying to help them. They're going haywire. You're a robot yourself, so you kind of feel for them or whatever. Beck's character is like, hey, this guy's going haywire. What do I do? And Dr. Light's like, hey, just shoot him a couple times. Get him to where you can then assimilate his cell technology. And so you kind of have this dash move that allows you to dash through the enemies and collect their cells. And cell is spelled like XEL or something, something weird. But it's an interesting gameplay mechanic. So each enemy has different levels at which you may shoot them like once or twice, and then they kind of do this weird phase thing, and then you have to dash through them in order to collect the cells. And you do it very quickly, and you get 100% cell syncage or whatever. And so you link together combos, and then by doing that, it'll actually upgrade your firepower. So as you go, your tiny little blaster pellets will eventually get a little bigger. Seemed like you eventually get faster. You develop some different abilities as you go. I'm sure there'll be power-ups and upgrades that you get along the way too that will permanently augment your character. But I noticed that as you link and chain things together, it also, gives you a little boost of power. But it was very cool. I like the graphics and the gameplay.
We also learned, and you guys can check out the post on purenintendo.com, that we learned why there isn't a collector's edition for Wii U. And it seems like the guys at Deep Silver tried to make it happen, but apparently it just came down to Nintendo, and Nintendo didn't. For some reason or another, it just didn't happen. It was basically Nintendo's court.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I kind of feel bad for us Wii U owners because we miss out on something like that. But
yeah, cool figurine and stuff.
Yeah. So
looks like it's eBay. If people want the figurine, or, but
Natsume, you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to add anything to the Mighty Number 9 combo?
You guys are good.
We're a little brain fried.
Yeah, we are.
Long day.
It has been a long day.
Natsume.
Yeah, Natsume. We checked out Harvest Moon Seeds of Memories, which is still very early in development. It was announced just before E3. And they said it was just very fresh. They hadn't really built too much of the game yet. They had like a little town area. Basically, the premise with this, you got they're kind of going back to 16-bit era graphics. So it's kind of a throwback to the SNES days of the series. And it's very, very rudimentary. The demo, they had it playing on an iPad and then mirrored up to a TV screen. They couldn't really comment on Wii U functionality yet since they hadn't really focused on it. They're basically just building out basic stuff. And it sounds like the game's not going to come out till next year, maybe even holiday next year. Like it's still a ways out. I was a little disappointed because they made a big deal about saying, hey, it's the first time we're making the Harvest Moon on the Wii U, but it's not really taking advantage of the Wii. It's not a full 3D Harvest Moon or, anything like that.
It wasn't even playable on Wii U.
Yeah. Like I would have liked to see, last year's game, the 3DS one, I can't remember, Lost Valley, I think is what it's called. I thought it was a very ambitious game. I don't know how it ended up selling, or if maybe that's the reason why they're not doing it. But I would have liked to see maybe even a port of that, with better graphics, because they even did like a Minecraft style thing in the game, where you could actually build mountains and you could dig valleys and you could create a cubic, world to your farm. So that kind of creativity. Looks like it's just going to be limited to, 2D plains and fields and crop growing. But anyways, and they had a couple other games there, and mostly stuff that looks to be adapted for mobile games. But anyways, that was mostly Natsume.
Yeah, and after that was
the indie stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
That
was cool. Why don't you talk about that, James?
And we went to, what was it called?
Indie Mix.
Indie Mixer, yes. Yeah. Indie Mixer was on top of a roof somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but it was really cool. We got to play. I've talked to them a lot. We never actually played Steam World Heist.
Yeah.
And that is an amazingly cool game.
Yes, it is.
I didn't really know what it was very much because I've never played it.
Yeah.
I've read his interview, but the play is really, it's almost a turn-based. It is a turn-based game.
Yeah, like a turn-based strategy,
shooter, puzzle solver. Like it's almost like, it reminds me, like you're setting him in like you're a military general. So you move him into coverage, or you can do what Justin does and just kind of like terminate his way through.
I know. I was like, here's another robot. They can't feel or breathe.
So you just threw them at them, or you can like strategically put some of your players, move them within your turn base, up top or low, behind barrels to get ready and wait for the enemy to come, or you can go terminate like Justin does and just run at the enemy and see what happens.
Yeah.
So it was
very unsuccessful strategy. I did not beat the last room.
3D was great because it was very subtle.
Yes.
Nothing really popped out to you. Just kind of gave a little more depth to the level.
Yep.
I didn't notice at one point. Like I forgot the 3D was on. So that's
just some nice layering, but very, very slick. The game looks very, very polished. I'm excited. It sounds like there's a ton of worlds. He was saying, or a ton of depth to the levels. So I'm excited to get in and play more of the game.
And we were talking how it's satisfying to like hit a headshot,
Yeah.
and it because things just explode because they're all robots. And
Yeah.
like I swear I heard, I don't know if you heard it, like Steam release. It goes,
Yeah. Yeah, and like
pieces fly everywhere. It's extremely satisfying.
Yeah, things clinking and clanking, as they hit the ground, and they did a lot of cool stuff. I mean, we were outside, even with the volume turned up. It was hard we didn't have any headphones or anything, but he's like, yeah, we really focused on the sound effects and stuff. So he's like, I wish we had some headphones, but he's like, suffice to say, it will sound really well. So.
And we'll let you talk about Mutant Mud Super Challenge. You
Oh,
never played
yeah,
Mutant Mud before.
No, I've been meaning to try it out. It's been on the eShop for the longest time, and we finally got to attend this event here. And I got to speak with Jules from Renegade Kid, and he was talking to me about it. Like, if you've never played Mutant Muds before, this is like the hard edition, or the New Game Plus, if you would, version of it. And yeah, it is.
Well, like
it's
I
so hard.
Like playing like most of the Mutant Muds before. Like I'll jump into a level and I just skim the level, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! You expect me to do this there?
Yeah.
Like it was weird coming in as someone, I don't want to say an expert, but I'm not very good at the game. But someone who's played the games,
Yeah.
I can see what he wants us to do, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me!
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how I could do that.
Yeah, it was definitely tough, but it's enough to like jump into it. Like I don't know if I am going to go back and play the old ones. I'm definitely going to jump into this one though, just because I like that challenge that it provides. Because it's kind of a drag when you play these platforming video games, and it makes it seem generic when you're just going from the left side of the screen to the right, like you were saying. It's just a basic experience. Yeah. But with this, man, I was dying every 5 seconds. And I think Jules was laughing at me because of it, which is fine, Yeah. He's a really nice guy, but yeah, I got to check that out.
And what he said a lot is, like the normal games, they progressively get harder. This one's just it's what it is. He compared it, I guess, in our interview on this issue. He compared it to the Lost Levels, where it's just it's what it is. It's not going to get any harder, not going to get easier. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And,
got to try Zeo Drifter. I don't know if you guys got to try that out. I tried it out on Wii U. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. The controls felt great. It feels like that video game should have been a Wii U title at first, and then scaled it to 3DS. But it looked nice on a big TV. I'm excited whenever that game comes out to just try it on my TV. He had mentioned it has off-screen play as well, for those who have others who want to watch TV or watch movies, but you want to play video games, so you can just jump into off-screen mode and definitely utilize that functionality. We were poking around with some of the touchscreen options. I've been playing a lot of eShop games without integrated touchpad functionality, and it's kind of a bummer. You have this system that has this peripheral that allows you to use it like you would an iPad or an iPhone, but that functionality, however, is absent. With Zeo Drifter, it's actually there in really cool ways. You can drag. I mean, I've never played. This is my first time playing the video game, and I had played it at like 100%, so everything was unlocked. So you could drag weapons, or you can drag like upgrades and stuff, and you got your maps and stuff. But just the fact that I can mess with the touchpad, I really appreciated that. It was something different. So
that's one thing I respect about Joel's, is that he tries to use the platform's capabilities like to its best. Like the 3DS, he wanted to use 3D because that's what it is. And for Wii U, he wants to use the gamepad because that's what it's for.
And look at Mutant Muds. I mean, Mutant Muds had such a fantastically those layered 3D levels were such a fantastically simple gameplay mechanic, but just works really well, and it works really well transitioning to the Wii U too.
And that's what I think mindset that a lot of developers need to have with Nintendo is like going in there and he's like, he's going to create a game that used 3D. He's going to create a game that uses the gamepad. A lot of people are like, we're going to create a game for the Wii U, but we may use the gamepad, we may not. No, they need to go in there thinking, hey, we're going to create a game that's going to work with the game pad from the beginning, and then you can integrate it throughout the game instead of adding something some that we talked to do like, yeah, we may use the gamepad. Well, you need to kind of figure that out now.
Yeah,
instead of
like the Harvest Moon guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, you know, just some friendly advice. I mean, I didn't want to say that Nintendo fans are notoriously picky, but I would say we are smart buyers. I mean, granted, we're going to buy anything Earthbound related, you know, regardless of price or, you know, but I would say we're fairly smart in the things we buy. We're not buying something that's a rushed port, you know, released a year later, you know. We're going to buy something that's, you know, taking advantage of the system that we purchased with our money. You know, I mean, it's not, you know, we're, you know, not going to get something that's the exact same experience that you can get everywhere. So,
yeah, we also tried a really cool racing game.
Yeah,
that happens to be a Wii U exclusive. Now I don't recall the name of the title.
Fast Racing Neo.
Okay,
Yes.
there you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, that was just a fantastic game. I mean, I mentioned. It kind of reminds me of Mighty Number 9 in the sense that I mentioned F-Zero right off the bat, just because that's what I equate it to. And he's like, no, don't say that word around here. He's like, I like F-Zero, but this isn't F-Zero. But yeah, I would have that same pride and that saying like, hey, this is our own game. We're not copying anything. But I talked to him as I was playing. And he said, we researched games that were out there, like genres that were missing. And this was one of the main games that we thought would be really cool. A fast racing, highly technical, you know, speed game. And the game looks fantastic on the Wii U. I mean, the lighting effects. I mean, there was one part where you saw like the sun coming up over a hill. You know, just reflects nicely on like the metal track and the race or the speedster itself. And it's got a lot of nuances to the way the vehicle controls. He showed me how you can switch like, you know, when you go, the colors, and then
you had to match up to the turbo boost, turbo strip. So you run into a blue one. You have to have the blue phasers on or colors on to get the boost. If not, it would slow you down.
Right.
And so that was a cool mechanic of playing around with it. It just didn't give you boosts. Like you had to actually think, be like, oh wait, no, that's the yellow one. Maybe do it quickly sometimes, like yellow, blue. So you had to quickly switch back at the same time, steering and watching out for whatever's flying at you.
Yeah, and you had to collect the orbs to get boost power to go on. And then he was showing me the strafing that you can do with the ZR and ZL, and the strafing just subtly, like, you know, kind of like air brake left and right, and you can turn, like pivot the nose of the craft left and right as well, but then it's kind of like a drifting motion, whereas the strafing is just very, you know, subtle side movements. And he said later on in the game, he's like, that's the ideal you know, way to control the craft. He's like, that's just a more advanced way to, you know, because he said that there's going to be a lot of like, you know, zigzag stuff.
And the game is it's very well. For me, it wasn't very fast because I wasn't very good, but you got it going pretty fast. And so so like that subtle movement is key. You don't want to do like a big jerk and be like rolling and doing what I was doing.
Off the track.
Like the game is very fast. I was spamming the boost button as much as I could. The what was like a drift, the drift buttons.
Yeah,
I think that could have been tweaked a little bit, because when you drift, you're really just like really
sliding
like,
all around.
Yeah, so I mean, that was cool. The game looked fantastic. He said he would love to add more vehicles as extra content down the road. He was working on online multiplayer, but I think they're testing the network and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he said there's 16 tracks, and they said that he's like, they're all very different, so it's not like you have like 4 in the same, you know, area, just different configurations of the track. So it sounds like it's going to have a lot of variety to it.
It had a real arcade feeling to it, like San Francisco Rush or the Rush games, where, you know, there would be these really big crates, and if you ran into it, you would explode into pieces, or I think you would just move, but it looked like you were exploding. And then you would get set back, and then you would have to move forward. from there. So I really like that too. It didn't take itself too serious. I mean, it was a serious racing game, but it just having those little implementations made you feel like, okay, it's a really fun video game instead of just like a serious racing sim. You know, but yeah, I'm really anxious to play more of that one. I had a good time with it. I would like to play multiplayer and a couple of buddies and see how that would work.
Yeah, and not to diss like other indie games that, you know, strictly stick to 2D graphics and all that, but it's really refreshing, really nice to see indie games that are full 3D.
Yeah.
You know,
I had to like pause for a minute and I'm like, okay, I see a Pro controller, so yeah, okay, this must be Wii U.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and yeah, it just looks fantastic. So
and we got to play Runbow too.
Yeah, we did get to play some Rumbo. And that was a lot of fun. I didn't get to play any of the adventure mode, the single player. We just did some of the multiplayer, and it's a very basic, you know, run and jump platformer. It reminded me a lot of Cloud Breaking. Yes, yeah. I mean, because the levels are very small, very abbreviated experiences, which is fine. And you're kind of like racing to the end. The colors and the different transitions would hide different platforms as you're going through.
Corresponding to that color. So if you're standing on a red platform,
and red hue goes across.
That platform's gone. Or if you're jumping from a red to a yellow, and before you land, the yellow hue comes across, then
you're gone.
Yeah. And it's a race. I didn't know. I guess I should have got that from the title, but you're basically just racing 4 other people. You can either punch or like jump onto
or
them.
8 other people.
Or 8 other people, or just try to run out there yourself. So it's a cool party game that's not WiiWare, I guess.
I think he really liked the guy who we should have got his name. I didn't catch it, but the guy who developed the game, he was really excited that we were just beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
Like we weren't just trying to race through and get it done.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could get anything accomplished. Like racing wasn't working for me because I was dying, so I was there to beat up people.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get ahead.
Yeah, well, I was wondering at first, like what the goal was. I was like, oh, so we have attack buttons, and like there's like a ground pound attack and like an uppercut. And he said, it's kind of like Smash Brothers, where you can like jump, double jump, and then do like up and attack to do like a third jump. But like a couple times, like we would just attack each other. You can get power ups as you go through, and some of those power ups will give you like boxing gloves, and you can
one punch.
One punch knocks them off the level, and you can cruise to victory. And there were other attacks. There was one that was like a lightning bolt.
It was like a body switcher.
Yeah, the body switcher was pretty fun. That was a fun idea. That happened several times to me, where I would get either switched further ahead or further back, and there'd be a platform that was there or gone now. So it causes all sorts of havoc. But I could see that one being a pretty fun party game.
Yeah. Maybe a little difficult after a few beverages.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely a fun little party game to play. Really cool experience.
I think that's mostly it.
Yeah, may not be Nintendo related, but do you guys want to talk about the VR experiences that we had?
Sure.
Yeah. We I've never tried any VR stuff before. I've seen Oculus and other things at PAX in years past, but it was my first time to play around with it, and it's a very, very cool experience. I tried out, there was a Samsung Gear demo that I tried that was very cool. It reminded me a lot of Lawnmower Man. You just kind of had like this sphere that you were looking around in, and there were different hexagonal or virus looking things. I guess they're kind of spherical, but you would have to hack those, and then you could buy some upgrades or some items to hack something else. It was a very, very simple demo, but effective. And then the other demo was Oculus based, and that one was fun. James, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, this one basically it's kind of like a base battle where you pick your units. There was a variety of like 12 different units, from planes to tanks to just artillery attack. You had 3 bases, and your enemy had 3 bases, and you're basically just taking over bases until you guys meet in the middle, and you just attack each other and fight. And you're just basically the commander, and come to find out you're a commander in another room somewhere else. Because like you're staring out down at this table, and what's cool with the Oculus, it has like depth perception, I guess to call it.
Yeah.
So you lean forward and you can like look at the details of your tank.
It was really cool.
And then finally, I look up and I'm like, I'm in another room, looking down at a table. Like I look behind me, there's a door, there's a light above me. It was a weird experience. I thought I was just looking at whatever the map of the people attacking, but I was actually in a room, I guess sitting on a chair, looking down at this table. And it was a weird experience.
Yeah, it was cool. And that Oculus demo used like a Xbox 360 controller for, selecting things and highlighting objects. But
and you notice because it was a huge spread. Like it goes, I'm not in the camera, it goes all in front of you. And so like my base was over here and the enemy's base was over here, and I was attacking over here. And it's like I would move my head all the way over.
And
you would almost have to like look at what you wanted to select it. So I select it, move it, attack over here. Select, move, attack over here, because I'm scanning the whole.
I was doing the exact same thing. I probably looked pretty silly. I was like, just jerking my head around. But it's very cool. I can definitely see what's so compelling about virtual reality. I don't think it's gonna be the only way we play in the future by any means. I mean, I think there's still plenty of people that are going to play, couch co-op games, and there's plenty of use for playing a game just on a TV screen, I think. So, because the VR experience is very personal, there's no one else that can see what you see, unless I guess you had online multiplayer or something like that. But anyways.
Cool.
That's about it. That about wraps up our
Day two.
And we'll head back to the show floor tomorrow and see if we can get, I don't know, hands on. We'll probably just pick up the leftovers of things we haven't seen, or play some levels of games that we've already played. But yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.